It's finally time. Fire up the gerbils. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready.
Hey, we're live. How are you, Billy?
Yo, 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 what's going on, Ken?
It's going, man. I haven't talked to you since, I don't know, yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So,
You're back at home?
I am back home finally. I think it's safe to say we are not having any hotel Wi-Fi issues this evening. Thankfully. So we'll have to
Good
throw a little applause up in there for that.
I heard nothing.
I don't know. I heard nothing either. I don't know. It's, we have a very low budget razzmatazz, I guess.
So, as you guys can see by the title of the stream, I guess it's not in the title, but what we want to talk about is buying the perfect drones. And we want to start this off by, I guess, saying what drones we have and talking about why we have them and which one is our favorite and why it's our favorite. So, I guess I'll start things off. I've got the Spark, Mavic Air, Mavic Pro, and Phantom 4 Pro. I wouldn't have all of those drones if I didn't do YouTube. I feel like the only reason I have the Spark is because I wanted to make videos on it. I don't think it'd be my go-to drone. I'm not sure about you, Ken.
I don't know. I favor the Spark a little bit more. I got a little soft spot in my heart. I have a little soft spark in my heart.
Well, okay, so I'm very impressed with the Spark's video, even though it can only shoot 1080p. In fact, I think it's better than the Mavic Pros. But the thing is the Mavic Pro is just such a beast. It's got such better performance.
You're talking about the Mavic Pro.
Yeah, the Mavic Pro. The Mavic Air still gets pushed around by the wind a little bit.
I
don't know
agree.
if you noticed that, but
No, I have, and I pointed that out, and I got a lot of super fun comments because I said that anything above 10 miles an hour, I felt that it struggled.
Yeah, like even if you flip it into sport mode and you try to go forward on a high gust of wind, it's going to stand still.
And the problem with that is I think that makes it worse with the way the gimbal is. The gimbal does something weird in sport mode. I don't know if it's just me, but it acts a little weird.
No, yeah, I agree. When I'm flying, like, so let's say I put it in sport mode and I push the stick forward, the gimbal and the camera like shoot downward.
Yeah, it's a little it's like polar opposite of, let's say, the Spark in sport mode. So my drones, sort of similar to your lineup. I use the Phantom 4 Pro Advanced, and then I have the Mavic, or not the Mavic Air, and then I have the DJI Spark. So as of late, I use the Spark a lot. It's just super easy for me just to throw it in a bag and go. I know it's weird to say because the Mavic Air is like way more portable. I don't care if I guess I don't care if I lose the Spark. Is
I know what you mean.
What I would say. Like if I lose it, if I come home with it, whatever. If I don't, but I guess I'm not afraid to get that shot that I want.
I know it's messed up to say, but like when I fly with something like the Mavic Air, sometimes I take some risky shots. Like I'll fly low along the water, fly in, like kind of going down into the smokestacks. But I don't know. I figure
I cringe,
like
man.
I know if I go and try to fly my Phantom 4 Pro like that, and I'm out $1,500, that's going to be a hurt in my wallet. But if I go and I fly something with the Mavic Air, $700, $800, that's still a lot of money. But
and it's not a drop in the hat like that. Don't take it out of context at all. But when you're, when you're like looking to make a video, and it's either get the shot and like get the most crisp, clean, epic footage that you can, or potentially you lose a drone. Sometimes you got to take that risk. I mean, I've done it a couple times, and that's how I ended up with the Spark. I didn't think I was going to get my Phantom back, and I bought the Spark in the interim, and it ended up being like my favorite drone after using it once before.
And okay, so that's the thing is like I feel like the way to stand out amongst all the other drone footage. I mean, don't get me wrong; these people shooting stuff with their drones, it all looks cool. But to stand out from everybody else, you got to do something that's a little bit different. Therefore, I always try to take risks. Again, flying over the water, going under bridges, stuff like that.
I'm trying to find some better, like some points of interest to fly. Like you keep lucking out like with these like abandoned places, smokestack, like everything here in Florida. Florida's like everybody's still here. Like why?
That's funny. There's a lot of abandoned places up here in Pennsylvania. I mean, it's easy to find them. You drive past one almost everywhere you go. Some of them are accessible, some of them aren't. But a lot of the footage sometimes is from the same places. They're just so huge, like such big complexes. Right. You can always find areas to fly. That's
always interesting. I haven't like really looked anymore. I need to. We went to the beach this weekend. Obviously, did my Ken Heron video. Yeah. And that was actually nice. Like I took the Spark because I was like, well, if I lose this, if it crashes up, because there were some seagulls that were like, and that's been like the topic in the DJI workshop lately. Is like people battling seagulls. I'm like,
or just birds in general.
Yeah, I feel like we need to have like Seagull Wednesdays or something, like, because it's been crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you look for in a drone?
All right. So I think I've probably said this in all my videos. The most important thing to me is the camera. Like, that's the reason I go with the Phantom 4 Pro. I could care less about portability. I mean, to a certain extent. I don't want to be lugging around something huge. I mean, I know I've talked about wanting an Inspire, but the Phantom, it's easy to cart around. I mean, it's a big difference between the Mavic Pro, but to me, getting that like 4K at 60 frames per second footage, or even if you shoot 4K at 30 FPS, it's still going to be a better shot. And even with, taking pictures, 20 megapixel pictures, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the camera to me. And another thing that I've kind of been pushing towards, this is something I really didn't think about in the beginning, but flight time. Like right now, I do some photos for my dad's work. And what I'll do is I'll take pictures of 3 houses on the same property. And with the Phantom 4 Pro, I can film and take photos of all 3 houses on one battery, which is good. It's great. I can fly for like 27 minutes and not have to land. But imagine if you've got something like the Mavic Air trying to do that, you might go through 2 or 3 batteries.
Yeah, so the Mavic Air, I think the biggest disappointment for me is battery life. So I would have to concur that my next drone, it's got to have at least 30 minutes of flight time. Not that I ever find myself flying for 30 minutes, but it'd be nice to know that like it's there if I need it. But I think the other thing I would like to have, and I would love to see drones have, is like quick charge capabilities. Like, it's great that you can buy another battery, but batteries are like, $100 at the minimum, like sort of like the bottom end. it would be cool if you had the ability to charge one of these up in, like, let's say 45 minutes or even 35 minutes. You know, similar to like how phones can give you a charge, you know, in like, let's say 30 minutes you can get, I don't know, almost a full charge with many phones nowadays. Like, have a quick charge capability. Or if they're going to sell these drones, like, don't do a fly more, just include two, like, just include it in the price. Why give somebody the option, you know? I don't know.
Here's the thing is, I've got the Phantom 4 Pro charging hub. It's like the 3 batteries you can charge at once.
Okay.
And if I plug them in and they're like significantly drained around like 10-20% on each battery, it takes like 3 hours or 4 hours to charge all of them up. It's
really
crazy.
See, I bought. Yeah. I noticed, like, when I bought my Phantom, I was using the stock charger for a little bit, and then I went, like, the first battery that was shipped with my Phantom was dead on arrival, so I couldn't even fly it.
Me too.
So I was like, all right, that's weird. So I had to go out, go to, I think it was Best Buy. I went, bought another battery, and then I sent the other one out. I was like, well, I might as well just keep this one. And then DJI sent me a brand new one. They assured me that everything would be great, and it was. They fixed it, like, so that was a good experience. And it took like I don't know, a week and a half. Not a big deal. But the thing I noticed was the charger got really hot, like really hot. And it was like whine. It would whine. I don't know, and it made me a little nervous to the point where, So I never exchanged the charger, but I went and bought like the Power Extra battery charger where I could charge like 3 batteries and my controller. And then I just basically use the DJI controller when I travel, because if I burn a hotel room down because it's DJI, I would feel like not really as bad because it's not my house.
Yeah.
I know it's a horrible thing to think, but you know, and it's
that's the
not
thing.
my
Like
fault.
whenever I'm charging something big, whether it's drone batteries, whether it's like a portable charger, you know, like a big battery, I never leave it plugged in when I'm not home.
Trust me, I agree. It makes me nervous.
I kind of had this grid set up where I've got all my drone chargers plugged into all of the sockets, and then or into all, you know, it's like a power strip. When I leave, I unplug it.
I have a strip. I just like when my batteries are not charging, I just turn the strip off, and they're like the Spark, the Air, the Pro, like all the grids go off, and they're each on their own individual switch, so they're not all on all the time. The only one I really don't mind is the Spark, because I'm like, I don't know, for some reason the Spark batteries make me feel safe. I don't know why.
Yeah,
they're just comforting, the little tiny,
they're
cuddly
smaller
batteries. So,
so I guess there's like these pillars that you need to look for. There's like the pillars of photography, like what makes a good camera. But I would say for drones, it's flight time, it's camera, and it's performance. I really can't think of anything else. I know that some people might say like features, like the intelligent flight modes that you get and stuff like that. But
I never use
doesn't
them.
like it doesn't matter to me. I mean, they're fun. They're fun to make a video on. I think that's my most popular video is all of the intelligent flight modes. I went over them. But I never use them. Like, even though it's nice to know what they do, again, I just don't use them.
So here's something for you. Do you think eventually it would be conducive for these companies selling these drones to start including, like, I don't know, like your most common ND filter? If they're not going to give us a veritable aperture on these cameras to where we can control the aperture versus the shutter, so on, should they at least include ND filters, or you think it's just a total cash grab for the aftermarket world at this point?
I think it's probably a cash grab. I think everything's a cash grab. But I think that it would be nice to, like, at checkout, add them on. You know what I mean?
Right,
or,
at a discount.
Like a discounted price, or maybe, let's say, maybe if you want to, I think for the Mavic, I never don't use an ND filter. Like, sometimes I can get away without using an ND filter on the Phantom 4, just because it has the adjustable aperture. But with the Mavic series and with the Spark, I feel like I've always at least got an ND filter on there. So maybe instead of it shipping with a CPL, the clear, whatever, like the clear piece on the front, maybe instead ship with an ND filter.
Yeah, I think, I would rather have at least like an ND8, because at the very least you're going to need an ND8. I think the clear should just come. I think the clear should just come with it, and that was like when I was filming this weekend. I went to my ND16. I wasn't able to get the shutter like exact, but the polarizing shutters from Polar Pro, so amazing, like so amazing.
And
they're awesome.
That's the thing, is you don't necessarily need to get like right on the money double the shutter. I mean, I always do with the Phantom 4 Pro because it's easier to adjust the exposure with the adjustable aperture. But the thing is that, like with these drones, like the Mavic and the Mavic Pro, or the Mavic Air, the Mavic Pro, it's hard to dial it in exactly. So if you're at like 100 shutter, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly. And like to most people, to the naked eye, they're probably not going to notice that. And I guess that's like one of the things, like we talk a lot about more like the creative side with the drones, and like, you know, the all the little nuances, you know, that go into creating and making that perfect video. And I don't think, you know, there's really like such a thing as a perfect video. It's just really all in the eye of the beholder. I like the motion blur,
I agree.
but then there's times where I just like, I can't get it dialed in 100%, but I don't think anybody's going to notice.
Yeah. And I think adjustable aperture is like a huge thing for drones.
Yes.
Like I never realized how important it was until I was flying my Phantom 4 Pro. Like now when I fly the Mavic Air, it's like a drag and needing to like really dial in using the ND filter.
Yeah, well, at least they made the lens on that a little bit better than like the Mavic Pro and the Spark. You know, the slip-on ND filters, they're I've never lost one.
Dude, they make me scared.
But they like I always get nervous like doing my pitch that I'm gonna lose it.
I'm not scared about that. The biggest thing I'm scared of is trying to like affix them, like get them, you know, put into place, which I actually broke my DJI made Mavic Pro filter, my ND4. I was trying to slide it on and it cracked because I was trying to like adjust it, which is annoying. I think that going with the Mavic Air, being able to screw it on, they've got to do that for the rest of the drone. They can't make any more of these like slip-on filters.
Yeah, no, they need to like, it needs to be better, but again, that's where I really think that like these need to be included, or at least give us a starter kit or something. Like I definitely want to see a starter kit. I don't know.
I wish they would in the Fly More combo. I wish they'd add like 3 ND filters, like the common values. ND4, 8, 16, boom, done. Give
us an option: prop guards or ND filters. Who the heck? Like I never use prop guards. Like I chuck them. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
In fact, when Bill sent me the Bugs 3, I was going and I was unboxing it and I threw away the propeller guards. And my mom, she was like, she took my trash, or she was like collecting the trash, and she was like, "Oh, you know, do you need these?" I was like, "No, just take them
away. just take them. Just we don't want them." So you did your very first live stream show last night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So how did, not your first show, because obviously you've been on here several times. You've been on Ken's show.
Yeah.
But this was your first solo show where it was just you talking to yourself. How'd you think that went?
I think it went all right. I cut it short. I was like 45 minutes. I wanted to try to hit that hour marker, but it's tough.
But does it not seem like you've been streaming forever, and then you look down at your clock and you're like, oh, it's only been 15 minutes. What do I do?
I had that. I thought I moved on to Q&A. I'd answered like probably like 10 minutes of Q&A, at least I thought. And I looked down and I saw 26 minutes and I was like, oh.
Yeah, Q&A is fantastic. So I thought it was pretty good, man. And your video is nice and crisp tonight.
I've got to talk about this. I know this is all about drones, but I just purchased the Logitech Brio 4K Pro webcam, and it is like life-changing.
Where'd you hear about that webcam?
This like just like amateur dude on the online told me about it. No, so me and Ken were going back and forth talking about webcams, and the C920, the HD webcam from Logitech was like $50 off. It was half off from $100 down to $50. So I was like, oh, I'll go buy that. And I said to Ken, I was like, oh, but I really want like a 4K webcam. He goes, well, they make them. So I had to pick one up.
Bro, if I put 4K in anything, I'm almost sure I could sell it to Billy. 4K sunglasses, I'll sell them to him.
4K AirPods.
4K AirPods, he's going to buy it. He's a resolution junkie. Crazy, man.
That's my thing, is like resolution is huge for me. I'd rather go with a higher resolution and lower frame rate. So like all these things shoot like 4K at 30, I'm fine with that. And now with these things shooting 4K at 60, it just makes me want to keep adopting the 4K technology. So
yeah, it's just I need the, I don't know, the internet providers of the world to get into like 2018 help, you know, because like my argument with Spectrum was today is like, okay, well, what do you do for the gamers or the streamers? Like, I don't even know why I threw it out there, because I didn't expect this lady to understand it whatsoever. It was like Greek to her, and she was like, well, you know, we're trying to get the upload speeds. We didn't realize, because back when the internet was like first coming on, it was like download speed was everything. Now people are like, well, we need upload. We want our content out there. It's like, It's such a weird turn in the road. So it's 8:51. I don't even think we mentioned this tonight, but we have Kelly from Ready Set Drone joining us here at the 9 o'clock Eastern hour, 8 o'clock Central time, which is cool.
Okay.
I've never met Kelly. You've met Kelly before though, right?
Yeah, we met at the Spark and the Mavic Air event, which was a lot of fun. And I was supposed to travel down to see him in Texas. My mom got sick, unfortunately. But Kelly, if you're watching, I am trying to plan a southern trip this upcoming. I know, Ken, I'm coming down in May to see you.
Well, that's a different southern.
No, I want to do a big loop.
You're gonna do a big loop.
In the summer, Nashville, see Ken Herron. I want to go to Texas, see Kelly. I want to head to New Orleans just for fun. And as I'm heading back east, head over to Florida, check out you. I mean, I know that Bill the Drone Reviewer wants to hang out, so maybe I'll meet up with him. And then coming back up, going through North Carolina.
Bill said dinner's on him.
Yeah, so dinner's on him.
So we may have to. He said he would take us to dinner, so we should probably, Bill, if you're watching, we're going to definitely take you up on the dinner for sure.
The nicest steak place in Tampa.
Dude, I know, and Bill already probably know. He's probably watching and be like, he's probably sweating like, oh God, don't say Burns, but Burns Steakhouse. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
Real quick, I want to talk about this. I know that we had talked about this a little bit. So any of these big companies, Apple, Microsoft, I'm trying to think. I mean, going out of the technology world, you've got like Nike, Adidas, all of these places have stores where it's just all of their products. And you go there and you get a taste for their products, especially with Apple. You can go in there, get your hands on the newest stuff. I think DJI should open up stores. Now, I know they have their stores like opened up by like Camrise in New York, but that's not the real deal. Like a DJI-owned store.
But so let's think about that. Like, so with Apple, that works. Have a brick and mortar store works, because they're selling something that everybody needs. Everybody needs communication, right? With Amazon, they can get away with the brick and mortar store because they can appeal and sell everything. You think they can just... Yeah, exactly. Do you think DJI can survive and support a staff to open a brick and mortar store? Because like a drone isn't like something everybody needs. Now, if they trend into the camera world of things, like I can see that being a possibility. Or do you think that Apple should provide them a space within their stores to support their products, or maybe even Best Buy? Like you walk into Best Buy, you see there's a Samsung booth now. Like maybe DJI has their own booth. That would not necessarily a brick and mortar, but something that could be like, I don't know, sustainable.
That would be cool, but imagine how many Apple products. Okay, they probably sell a lot, and I know that drones is in the minority because everyone needs a phone, tablet, laptop. I mean, those are common things for people to want and own.
Right.
But I think that one of the things that might be setting people back from like owning drones is the fact that they've never flown them. So being able to get your hands on, not only like maybe they might not buy in the store right there, but I think down the line it could boost their sales online too. Saying, oh, I remember passing by the DJI store. Let me check what it's about. And I think that like the biggest thing that they'd be able to do in these stores is repair. Being able to bring your drone there, getting it fixed and repaired there, and just waiting a week, right? Because I wait a week to get my drone sent to California. I wait for a week to, do whatever they do there.
Are they going to California? Because I've been seeing Texas a lot.
Really? All the drones that I've ever sent back have gone to California, but I didn't know about Texas. I know that they opened up a distributing facility in New Jersey, so it's going to be a lot easier for people on the East Coast to get like new products. But if you're sending something back for repair, I've never heard of Texas.
They're just absolutely killing it. Like when you step back and like look at it, like you really look at it and be like, wow, like there is just still like nobody close. And I know we talk about DJI a lot because we both fly them. But that's really because, one, nobody else has really approached us about their products. There's nobody that's really offered their support. It's pretty much the same reason why we both have an iPhone, because like you broke your phone, you said, this week, and you were able to walk into an Apple store and get it repaired, basically. And did it cost you anything?
So the story, it was going to be $375 to fix the back of my iPhone 10, like the glass. Ouch. And they said, well, do you have AppleCare Plus? I said yes. And I got a new one for $99 because apparently they like solder the entire phone to the back glass.
Yes, they do.
A total tear down process. So it's basically like, we've got a lot of money, just take a new phone.
Right, exactly. And they've already sold, they sold it to you. So that's, one of the big perks with that all. Just trying to see
Here's the thing, though, and I just saw John said that they have a brick and mortar store in the Garden State Plaza. So maybe if they open up these stores in major cities, one in Philadelphia, one in New York, one in Los Angeles. Oh, the Los Angeles one would make a killing.
Sure.
One in like San Francisco, one in Houston, right? One in like every major city. And I haven't been to the one in Garden State Plaza. The only one I've been to is in New York. It's the Camride store, which is like, it's just real small, and they've got like the big spreading wing drones in the middle, or the spreading wings drone. It's just like takes up a lot of room. I don't know.
I've not, I haven't been to New York in a hot minute. I need to get up there. I have family up there. I need to definitely get up there. But I would love to go in there and just check it out. But I would love the repair factor because I mean DJI Care worked out. I've had to use that now twice, and it's been really awesome. Like my Spark, I sent it in. I told you I wrecked the Spark at that golf course that day.
Yeah,
I sent it into him. I was telling him about the motor. I even told him that like I wrecked it, and they didn't charge me anything DJI Care Refresh. There was no physical damage though. I guess they looked at it and they saw no physical damage on there because there really wasn't. I mean, I sort of caught it with my hand after it hit the wall, but still, like I don't know. People can say whatever they want. I think they have pretty solid support for their consumer base. And I think that's really important is your consumer base.
Yeah. Another thing you have to think about, though, is these people performing these repairs on the drones would get more money than the people on the floor selling the products. And how many they would have on hand, it's going to be hard to tell, like, oh, well, maybe there's not going to be any drones and we've hired 5 techs. Like,
right.
Now we're wasting money. Or let's say it's going to be a busy day. You hire one tech who's, like, maybe only there, like, 4 days a week and you get, like, 30 drones. It's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah, see, and like for me, that would be so worth it. You bust up a drone, you break it, and you just walk into a store. They either fix it or replace it right then and there, and you're good to go. You're back up in the air. No pun intended. I mean,
that's the thing too. Is let's say you have DJI Care Refresh, you walk into the store, and right then and there you can exchange. I mean,
yeah, that's definitely the way to go, and that is what needs to happen, and it's just a matter of time. I mean. Again, I hope drone laws start leveling out here, with everything. I've been watching that. Like a lot of people, I don't know. I saw another guy here in Florida got fined for flying just outside of the Everglades, and I'm just like, seriously, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. It's not even a spot where people go and want to sightsee really. So Don says I've seen a DJI Texas store in Houston. Was it was it an actual store or was it like an affiliate store?
Yeah, because as I said, the one in New York on Broadway is operated by Camrise, and it says that in the name. It's like DJI store operated by Camrise. It's a camera store like a block down the street from there.
Interesting. That is definitely interesting. So when you order your drones, do you order directly from DJI, or are you ordering like you buy Amazon, or you just go right through the manufacturer?
So just through the affiliate links, I've got DJI credit, so therefore I purchased through DJI. But my first drone, and like if I didn't do the YouTube thing, I'd go through Best Buy. I'd go through a local store because if I've got a problem, rather than dealing with DJI support online, sending my drone back, I go to Best Buy and I get it replaced.
Huh. Okay. So that's awesome though that like the affiliate links are working out like that. Yeah. I've sort of just been going through Amazon just because like I'm impatient and I'm like I want it in 2 days. That Prime, but I saw the Prime membership went up though.
Did it? I'm still on the student one. I'm not sure if it's going to go up or not. I haven't gotten any emails.
All right, so we're just right now, guys. We're waiting for Kelly to dial into our stream. So we're just waiting until that happens. He should be dialing in shortly. I don't see Kelly yet, but that doesn't mean he won't be there soon.
Here's the thing about ND filters. I quickly want to touch on those again.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're expensive. They are like overly expensive. I don't know. I mean, you look at Polar Pro and they charge like $80 for 3 filters.
Hey Billy, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that maybe Kelly did get the number that I'm gonna take a look here at what number we have to send him. So let me just look at that while I'm gonna throw you up on the main while you talk about filters.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so yeah, I was talking a little bit about the ND filters. I just think that they're really expensive. I think it's a must-have. I think like you need to have ND filters when you're flying a drone and taking videos. For example, let's say I'm taking pictures. I don't use the ND filters. In fact, I just would prefer using the CPL, especially during the middle of the day. I can increase the shutter speed, and therefore there's no like motion blur in my pictures. Everything is nice, sharp, standstill. But on the other hand, sometimes if I want to do like a long exposure or something like that, or try to capture movement, then I would filter on. But most of the time, I just use the regular CPL. So if you use your drone a lot for, let's say, photography purposes, you really don't need ND filters as much. I mean, they could help you out again if you want to experiment with other things like long exposure. But if you're going to be shooting video, you definitely need ND filters. Like, not even a question. There are some pretty cheap ones you can find. So, for example, let me head over. Let's see. Send him. So as I was saying, I reviewed a pair of Neewer filters for the Mavic Pro. Let's see, Neewer Mavic Pro ND filters. They were really good. They came in like a nice little clear case. And right now I'm looking at it. It's ND4, ND8, ND16, ND32. So you get 4 filters and it's $25. Like, that's pretty cheap. I tested them out. They work great. I haven't really looked. So let's look up like Neewer Phantom 4 Pro ND filters. Nothing actually came up. So it looks like they've only got Mavic Pro filters right now. For some reason, no Phantom filters coming from Neewer. But again, like, I think most people probably own the Mavic, and being able to purchase 4 filters for $25, it's like a no-brainer. If you go to somewhere like Polar Pro, right? Let's take a look at like what their most expensive filter set is. I know you can go and buy like all their filters for like $350 or something. So let's see. The Mavic Pro filters cinema series, it's going to cost you $80, and it comes with an ND4, ND8, and ND16, and all those are polarizer filters. So you're only getting 3 filters. It's going to exclude the ND32, and you're paying a lot more money. And the same thing if you want just the regular shutter collection, $80. And it looks like their DJI Mavic Pro cinematographer collection is $339. So I don't know. It's definitely more expensive, and it's probably better quality. I mean, I haven't really done like a side-by-side comparison, and if it's like any difference in quality, it's really not going to be anything noticeable. Sorry, I'm messaging Kelly the information to get in here. I think that Polar Pro is probably my favorite filter company. I pretty much always review a set whenever there's a new drone that comes out. And I would probably go with Polar Pro if you've got the money. But if you really want to invest, or if you really want to just get into the game and get some ND filters and try them out, again, Neewer offers them for like $25. And again, they're like a must-have if you're going to be flying drones for video purposes. So definitely check them out.
So it's
What's good.
So I'm not really sure if, because earlier when you dialed in under Kelly's. So I'm not sure if that is actually what's causing the issue or not. Like, if it's still like thinks, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just sort of troubleshooting that. I hate to throw you out on Front Street here like this.
No, man.
But
look, I was talking by myself last night for like 45 minutes. Why don't we try sending him the other one?
I just created another. Which one were you connected to before? You were connected to the 324, yeah?
Yeah, hold on. Kelly's calling me right now.
Okay, I got another one for you.
Yeah, so I logged in and I just got a black screen. I just sent you a picture of it.
Okay. I think Ken, did you make a new?
Yeah, I just created a new one, so that's what I'm actually working on right now. So if you want to try sending him that one.
Okay.
Send me the new one and I'll log in with that.
Sweet. So there's the password. It's in that little red box.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna hang up and log in.
All right, awesome. All right, there we are. It looks like from his picture, though. Let me show you really quickly, Ken. This picture that he sent me of his computer. He's got a little black screen. Do you think that means he didn't allow permissions?
He may not have allowed permissions to his camera. Yeah, he may not have allowed permissions to the camera. So we just gave him that new password. So that should in theory do it.
All right, let me see.
So like,
here.
yeah, go figure. Hey, this is what, you know, being live is all about. Inevitably and hopefully once upon a time, maybe all of this will, you know, not be so difficult as we start working through. Like, we're already pros like at it as it is to troubleshoot live. So, you know, we'll get there. But I'm sure he'll figure it out. But it looks like maybe the same issue like Bill had that time was just permissions.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe try going into the settings to allow permissions.
Because that
yeah, I
mute
mean,
call,
I'm cool with going over, being able to talk to Kelly for a little bit if we go for a little bit
yeah.
longer
You
than
want me
an hour.
to? You want me to? I'll pop over to me if you want to. You want to give him a call? Just talk to him a minute. I can see what's going on
Sure.
screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll put
Alrighty.
you on the spot.
Cool. So now he gets to put me on the spot. What's up, everybody? All right, so I'm just going to start pulling from the topics here as we wait for Kelly to come online. He was on earlier, but, you know, again, magic of making a live show. Sometimes things don't always go to plan. So we'll just keep an eye out, see when it works, see when it doesn't work. There's a lot of behind the scenes happening, but we have a Mavic Air case that we are wanting to give away this evening. So we're actually going to do that live to one viewer. So if you have a Mavic Air case, or I should say Mavic Air, if you have a Mavic Air, tell us why we should give the case to you. Literally, we're just going to look at, you know, who comments. It's got to be, you know, somewhat of an entertainment comment, and obviously keep it appropriate. And we will choose you as a case, and then shortly after the show, we'll go ahead and set up shipping arrangements to get that out to you like super direct. So that way you can get it. So the case that we're giving away, if you haven't seen the video I did, that is the Dackett case. And it's a pretty nice case. You can carry up to 5 batteries, your controller, your Mavic Air, and basically all your cables, your charging connectors, basically everything. It's all in one. So it's a pretty solid case if you haven't already checked out the review. If you haven't, go check it out. If you like it, make sure you comment here once we get Kelly on the stream here in just a moment to go ahead and win that case. And I'm still not seeing him on, so hopefully we will know something here in just a moment if it all pans out. Hopefully we'll see what's going on here, so bear with us, guys. I apologize. Let's flip over to Billy, see what Billy says. Billy?
It's in microphone.
Yo, I think he's got it.
Good news?
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
Okay.
Let me just refresh this page.
Yeah, he's refreshing
now.
the page real quick.
Okay, we should be able to see him coming live here in just a moment.
Oh, dang, it's still black. Still a black screen.
Oh.
So hold on.
I think you'll have to quit Chrome entirely.
Okay.
You quit
And then
Chrome and
use
then
that new login you gave me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can
use
roll.
that
He can
same
roll with that
login
live
number.
login.
Okay. Let me try that real quick. So not the one you emailed me, but the one you texted me.
correct. Yeah, the one that begins with a 5.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Again.
Ordered the Mavic. Oh, you ordered it? Nice, man. Order the Mavic Air Fly More.
What color did you get? Let's see. Who was it? Eli?
You don't
No.
like the red Mavic Air? I like the red one.
No, not a fan.
Dude, I got the black one, but I like the red. The red is, I don't know. If I had to do it again, it'd be pretty much my only choice would be the red one. So I'm gonna go through Billy. How are the filters for the Mavic Air? The ND filters, they pretty decent?
Yeah, the Polar Pro ones?
Yeah. What about, have you seen F-Stop
Yeah.
Labs?
No. Never
I
heard of
saw F-Stop Labs had some pretty interesting ND filters up a couple of weeks ago. I gotta go check. I gotta check those filters out.
I don't see you guys at all.
Is he dialed in?
He said he's still seeing a black screen.
Okay, let's see where
I don't see your.
I'm gonna
Yeah, he
push
said it's
him
a
over
black
to
screen
live.
and it's blue. It's blue in the background.
Let me try putting in the original.
Yeah, try putting
the
it.
original
Try
password.
putting in that original password.
Okay, hold on. Because it was earlier, actually, before you came on, Ken and I were able to connect up.
Yeah, he was
Cool.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah. He
on.
was telling me about it.
So as soon
Yeah,
as
I
I
see
see
Mike
him,
is talking about. Mike is talking about the Apple Watch, which I've got mine here. The Apple Watch Series 1. First of all, this thing dies like in the middle of the day, so there's literally not even using it because it dies. It's already dead. And I think it's been dead since like 12. And it's really slow. So like I've got the original Series 1. I've had it for 3 years. And I don't know. You can see it's like dead right now. Dead. Oh, well.
I see you two guys.
You see us?
I see you, but I'm still getting a black screen just like before.
Man.
All right, we'll go back into
What is up? VMix is failing us tonight. What's going on, dude? This
Phoenix is usually the GOAT.
yeah, it doesn't.
You're all set. You can check. All right,
Yeah, I
so
know.
Billy,
really,
unless
really quick with the,
if I don't know. I don't know. You want me to try it? I can
Try what?
close VMix. You think maybe it's a VMix issue on our end?
I don't know.
no, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Billy had given me. You said content settings.
Yeah, content settings.
Yeah, there we go. Camera.
Or you know what? For the hell of it, try Firefox even.
I don't have Firefox. I have Safari and Chrome.
Okay.
Let me just try plugging in this webcam real quick.
Okay, yeah, try it out.
See what's going on there. Well, we can hear him anyways. That's always half the battle.
Alright, so that's
It's a podcast.
I selected it. It lights up blue.
You have to go into your preferences and select the webcam now.
So I've been
and then
using.
quit out of Chrome again. I just had to do the same thing.
So I know you've been using the Apple Watch. I've been using this.
The
This
Fitbit.
is the Fitbit Versa, man. I'm actually
Yeah.
very impressed with it. I'm just about ready to do my final review on it, but
Mhm.
like for me, like I loved Pebble. Like, you know, Pebble Watch was like awesome. It was like, you know, what you couldn't do a lot. It was very limited, but like,
There's camera.
Oh, he's got it working now.
oh my gosh, we got Kelly from Ready Set Drone. Which login did he use?
I've got no
see
idea.
him. I see him. I see him. I'm working
Go ahead
working
and
the
get him
magic.
over. Get
Okay.
him over.
Billy, buy me like 2 seconds here. Call. I got it. Hang on.
You got it?
Yeah, we got him.
Switch
So-
it over.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Inside Entertainment is about to begin. For further details, please refer to your copy of the Inside Entertainment Guide found.
And Kelly with Ready Set Drone.
Yeah.
And can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
I
I
can
can
hear
hear you fine.
Nice. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for your patience. It only took 14 minutes.
You know what? Don't feel bad because I took almost a whole show trying to fix my audio while Billy just sort of had to man the sinking ship. So,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
so I
good.
guess-
That's why you got a wingman.
you know, this
I guess
this
I've
show
done-
is no
I've done
stranger to
multiple
this.
streams.
All right. Well, I've been listening, and I got to say, you guys make some awesome points, and there are very few people out there, with the exception of this community, that we can be this nerdy around and not get totally shut down.
Yep, we're not judged. It's a judgment-free zone.
I start talking about this stuff with my wife, and she's just like, "Yeah, would you just go talk to your nerd friends or something?"
But it's funny
My
if you
girlfriend-
leave, you know, if you go to shave your face or something, leave hair in a sink, or you don't, you know, cover your pasta in the microwave, they're all over you.
I know.
I'm telling you, man.
And the important thing, if the audience and you guys only learn one thing from me, these are not toys; they're tools. Drones are not
I
toys;
agree.
they're tools.
That is so true. That is so
And
true.
that's the thing is when everyone talks about like having to register your drone or having to get your Part 107 for business purposes, it's like these are a lot more than just toys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
this
really
makes
are.
people money.
That's
Now
right.
this will segue into a question that I've had personally, Kelly, for you. Is right now, which is your favorite drone? I guess what class of drone do you like flying?
Oh,
more, your cinematic drones or the
I
racers?
read your prep sheet, and I've been thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that, and I've got an
Uh-huh.
easy answer. It's probably going to surprise you. It's actually the Mavic Pro Platinum.
Okay.
Okay. Is that because
now
it's
Have you guys
quiet?
flown one?
I
I
have.
haven't. No.
I mean, Ken? What do you think? It lives up to the hype as far as quiet goes. I
The
believe.
quiet, like so for a drone being quiet is like a super huge pet peeve for me because I was on a beach flying. I was flying the Spark, and this lady like who was doing yoga.
Yeah, I saw the video.
I saw
Yeah, she comes up to me and she's like, you know, I really wish you didn't come here today. And I'm like, why? And she's like, you ruined my vacation. I'm like, I'm flying a drone over the water. You're over here doing yoga. I'm like, I don't understand. And she goes, that thing is obnoxious. I'm like, well, you should see the one I have in my trunk. That's obnoxious.
Wow. So that was that woman in the video that you did the Charlie Brown voice?
Oh, no. That was a whole nother. She just kept coming up to me asking me questions, and it's just like, okay, leave me alone. Go away.
Well, so then why wouldn't you want the quieter drone?
Oh, I would. I totally would want a quieter drone. I want a quieter drone for a lot of reasons. One, well, that's why I take the Spark a lot of places, because I feel like the Spark can almost match the Mavic Pro Platinum as far as decibels and quietness goes. Obviously, you don't get the 4K, but if I fire up like the Mavic Air, people are just coming over and be like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, it's so loud. It's loud.
It's loud.
So
It's like
the
whiny.
other things with the Platinum, flight time, you were talking about flight time being a huge factor, and the Platinum does have amazing flight time.
Yeah,
it does.
And again, it's it's the same as the Mavic Pro. See, I actually differ with you, Billy, on the idea of portability.
Okay.
I would much rather have something that's small, easy to carry, and just less obtrusive. I have a Phantom 4 Pro. I flew it. I actually flew it 2 weeks ago for a nonprofit that I do some work for.
Cool.
Actually, I'm wearing the shirt.
Awesome.
And it's the first time I'd flown the Phantom 4 Pro in a while, and it was fun. It was kind of a breezy day, and it did really well. It's just been it had been such a long time. The one thing that is annoying is when you haven't flown in a while, and then everybody's like, every time you fire it up, it's like a big firmware update.
Yeah.
Man, I should have done this last night.
So
Yeah,
that's one of the things that annoys me with DJI is like they prompt you to constantly download those like fly zones, and it lets you get away with deferring them for a little while, but then eventually you have to do it. Same thing with the firmware updates. Like it won't let you fly unless your firmware update matches. I think that bothers me. I think as far as portability goes, I would love to just be able to get it out of my pocket or get it out of its case and be up in the air in like 5 minutes. That would be super ideal.
Well, you can do that with the Spark.
Yeah, you could. If we had OTG, I think it would be even better.
The one thing I will say though that the Spark, so I've used the OTG for connecting to my phone, and I've also used it. Isn't that what you use to connect the Spark to the goggles as well? You have to have the OTG cable.
Yeah, you gotta have OTG.
But I've tried to fly. This was one of your questions asking about the goggles. I love the goggles, but with the Spark and with the Mavic Air, they're not as good. They're way, way better with OcuSync. I don't know if you guys have flown the goggles with.
I have not.
They're just with the Mavic, they're amazing, and with the Phantom 4 Pro and the HDMI cable, they're amazing too. But they have some lagginess when it comes to the Air and the Spark.
Yeah.
So my problem.
That's weird.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill.
My problem when flying like the Phantom 4 Pro with the goggles is like I've got to choose if I want to use my phone or the goggles. Whereas with the Mavic, I can have the phone as a backup option, and I can have the goggles on my head. And if I want to, I can lift the goggles up and just look right down at my phone. It's really
true.
easy.
Well, have you guys ever flown from a boat, like water skiing or anything?
I've launched from a boat one time.
The goggles are amazing for. That's actually a video I'm going to do pretty soon because it's getting to be that season. I've done it several times, upstate New York, in Norway, and in Missouri, all on different boats. And so in Norway, we were in a fjord, and I took off, and it was really gray and kind of cloudy, and I was trying to get up above the clouds so I could get this kind of cool picture of the boat and the fjord and all that stuff. Anyway, we were drifting so much that I lost track of where the drone was, and I lost orientation because everything kind of looks the same. It's all gray and rocks, and so I basically had to have everybody be quiet and listen for the drone so I could figure out where the heck I was. Because even through the goggles, I couldn't see. I was just basically seeing clouds. And because we were drifting, I didn't reset my home point, and so. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Like I learned a lesson there. I was lucky to get the drone back, and so my video about flying on a boat is going to tell people how to avoid that issue.
So if you're like that, can you flip the goggles off and go back to your phone, or the phone's not even in the equation? I've never flown with the goggles, so.
Yes, with the Mavic you can.
Okay, so you can take it off and maybe just like throw it into the map mode and see where. Because sometimes I do that. If I can't hear it or see it, I'm like, where am I? So I throw it in the map mode so I can physically see it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think to do that. Actually, that would have been smart. I just went old school and said, "Everybody, listen. Do you hear?"
I usually panic. I panic when I can't, like when I like
absolute panic.
because like you can still see it's moving. I'm like, okay, well I know it's still alive, so it's got to be somewhere.
Well, I mean, I could see the video from it. It was just fog. You know, it was just fog and rocks, and it just all looked the same. There wasn't any way to get oriented. But I will say that if you ever go water out on a boat and you're following a water skier, having the goggles is the best. I mean, it's just like playing a video game. You're just flying over them, and like I was going sideways next to the boat, next to the water skier, and then straight above, shooting down.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I got some amazing footage.
Guys are making me want to spend the money on these goggles now. They sound absolutely amazing.
They're
awesome.
You know, actually, so you know, you can get a refurbed for like $250 now. You can get the original goggles refurbed for $250. Yeah.
So like how is it when you're flying with them? Like do you, like I heard Billy say, you know, sometimes some people get nauseous. Like does it really? Because I watched some of Ken's videos and I mean he gets some really super precise like precision flight.
It just takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
So you never fly with Fat Sharks or any FPV stuff at all?
No, I haven't messed around with FPV. Everything's sort of been from the tablet, you know, or right in front of me. Most of the point of interest really flight.
What do you think, Billy, as far as getting used to them?
I think that there's definitely some sort of learning curve. Part of me is like thinking like, all right, can I see the little branches if I'm flying close to trees? I know that Ken is like, it's almost like riding a bike. Like once you get on the trend, once you start flying with FPV, it's like you never forget how to, I guess, fly with FPV. But I always find myself not using the goggles. I feel like just being able to fly line of sight with my drone, looking down at my phone or tablet is the best.
So a couple of comments on that. Number one, bright sunlight, they're a huge lifesaver because you can actually see very clearly. The picture is very immersive. It's very wide. Number two, again, like following a boat or something that's moving and you're moving too, it is way easier, I feel like, with the goggles, because it really is just like a video game. You're just like you can see it down there, and you're just every time you push the stick right, your orientation is also the same because you're always looking forward, so you don't have to worry about left being right and right being left.
Yeah,
you know,
makes sense.
Mode. And then the last thing is with the DJI flying a Mavic or a Phantom 4 Pro with the goggles. To me, that's not something I would ever do like through trees or down low.
That's true.
Because you know, you guys were talking earlier about not wanting to crash your Mavic Pro, but I have done all kinds of crazy stuff with little FPV racers through trees, and we have a trampoline, and I'll go under the trampoline while the kids are jumping. Whoa. So I have to time my flight so that when they go down, I go through before they go down again.
That's
you know how
really
the
cool.
mat of the trampoline is going up and down.
Yes.
But you know, those things are made to be broken. They're very easy to fix, and they're very you know, pretty durable. But I wouldn't do that with my Phantom or my Mavic.
Yeah, I would be like concerned to getting that close to the ground. I mean, the Mavic or Phantom, it's just going to want to shoot, you know, compensate obviously, unless you shut the sensors off. But acro is something definitely I want to get into. Like,
it's hard. It's very hard.
It looks hard, but it looks fun.
You guys know Chris Rollins? Either of you ever watch his channel?
Billy just like showed me his channel, like I think it was today. Showed me his Instagram, and I actually went and subscribed to him. He's got some pretty interesting content.
He does, and he is actually a pretty good acro pilot. He and Kent came here to Austin about a month ago, and we did some videos together. And one of the videos was him showing me how to fly acro, because I can do it, but I'm not very good. But he was doing flips and like going up and just like falling upside down and then turning back over before he hit the ground. It was
wow.
Some of those videos that I see like on Twitter or on
Crazy.
YouTube of the people like going up the buildings and then flipping over, it's just like it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
Now,
you're like, how do you do that? Motion sickness is not your friend.
So with the DJI, I guess I take it the only thing that works with DJI is the DJI goggles. No third-party goggles will work.
Fat Sharks.
No.
Fat Sharks work.
So you can use Fat Sharks. You can use anything with HDMI because at least with the Phantom 4 Pro, there's an HDMI out on the remote, so you can just plug HDMI direct. The thing is, though, that's what Ken does, and the thing is, there's a lot of functions you don't get if you do that, because you're basically just viewing at that point. The goggles actually have like a whole touch screen on the side, so you can swipe up and down to control different things. And then with the Mavic Pro, you can actually do a head tilt mode where when you tilt your head, the camera turns up and down.
What?
So,
I think they need to work on that though. Like especially like the one where the Mavic actually like spirals around and like spins around. Like looking to the right
like,
and like it just
fixed wing mode.
No, not fixed wing mode. I know that the one actually moves the gimbal around when you look down and you can like look around. But there's another one. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you can actually like spin your head around like this, and the drone will spin itself towards the right. And I just feel like if I look that way, it like lags a little bit, and it like kind of throws me off because I expect to be like looking that way, and then it catches up. So I think it's something I need to work on.
Yeah. Well, all this stuff's on sale. Got some new goggles coming up.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at Fat Shark's website now. Just figure, check it out. The only thing I don't like about the DJI goggles, they just look so, like, they're so bulky. Like, the Fat Sharks just look so svelte and, like, non-obtrusive, even though you're not getting, like, all those added features, though. But these look really nice, though.
But the Fat Sharks are really designed for... So Fat Sharks will work with an HDMI input or with 5.8 gigahertz analog. They don't work with OcuSync. So the thing to try before you make any decision is try using the Mavic Pro with goggles with OcuSync. That to me is like the best. That's why I like the Platinum as much. It's just there's no wire, there's no cable, and it's so seamless.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you're just, and you can hand it to somebody. That's also really cool. Is you can just hand the goggles to somebody, and you can be looking at your phone, and they can fly with. They can just watch, or that's one of my favorite things to do.
That's awesome.
People freak out when you do that.
Yeah, I'll have to definitely look into that, because there's times like with the goggles, I think it would save me, like especially like flying around like a tower, like or anything. Like I feel like the immersiveness would probably save me or allow me to get a closer shot than I'm capable of doing right now.
I feel more confident. I feel more confident in the distance, because I think it's really hard to judge looking at a tablet or a phone. I think it's easier to judge when the image is right up close to your face, I think.
No, yeah, I agree.
Totally agree with that.
Now, switching gears a little bit here, what do you think of 4K versus 1080p?
So actually, I'm glad you asked, because you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite. I'm more a frame rate guy than resolution.
See, there are frame rate guys, man.
That's Ken too.
Thank you.
I'd rather do 1080 60 or 1080 90 or 1080 120, because you just get such a smooth shot. And the thing is, most of the people I think watching this are watching it on a mobile device. I don't know. I don't think most people are actually watching it 4K.
No,
I should probably do 4K, but I shoot pretty much everything 1080 60. It's just sort of my default setting. Now, I know that 4K looks pretty awesome when you're able to do it, but you're also limited by bandwidth, because even if you have 4K and you've got a lousy internet connection, it's not gonna look as good as it could if you were watching it locally.
Right, and that's like why when we stream, at least from my house, Billy's house, totally different story. Like we stream 720p because it keeps everything like nice and in sync. He's got ungodly speeds.
Looking really good.
So I gotta ask, what camera do you use, Kelly?
So I have a couple. Mostly the two main ones are the Panasonic FZ2000 and the FZ300. Okay. So I have two FZ300s that I use as kind of like secondary cameras. They're nice and small. And then the FZ2000 it's a Lumix, the Panasonic Lumix.
Okay.
The reason I got them is because they have external mic jack, so I can put a external mic in. I have a nice Rode shotgun that I put on top of it, and then they have a screen that flips around so you can see yourself.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I know everybody's going crazy right now for the Sony. A7 III.
Yeah, I mean it's nice, but that full frame camera just brings on a whole new set of woes.
Like what?
Like what?
Lenses. Have you ever priced out a Sony lens? Like I'm a lens fanatic. Like there's a lens for every job. Like when you go full frame, you can only go full frame with the lenses, and like your lenses start like $800 and go up from there, and that's on
Yeah,
a cheap
yeah.
lens. Billy, what are
Well,
you
now-
doing, man?
I'm not a
The
focus right now,
Sony
am I?
Canon lenses too, right?
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
not a
little
focus,
soft.
right?
Say that again, Kelly.
Will the Sony use Canon L series lenses? I think it will.
There we are.
Yeah.
We're good.
So Sony can use L series. Yeah, you just got to buy an adapter for it.
Okay.
And some people say they work fine, and then some people are like, no, the autofocus isn't there. It's tough because Sony's using like a whole different motor, as to where like Sony's got like this, I don't know, I should say Canon has dual pixel autofocus, so it's like two different engines. I think they achieved the same. But
So what's your favorite? What's you guys go-to cameras?
I shoot Canon. I use an SL2.
I
know.
shoot.
What do you use, Billy?
I shoot a Panasonic G7, and God, the autofocus just kills me. I mean, I do so much work outside that I just love the.
Billy, I remember in New York at the Mavic Air thing, you were shooting a little demo with your girlfriend, like of the Mavic Air, and it was all out of focus.
That was why I ditched that camera. That is the singular video that made me get rid of my G7 right there.
It's like autofocus to me, because I'm usually in front of the camera, would be huge. Like whenever I go outside, I just want to throw an autofocus and not have to worry about it. But I have to worry about it with the pen all the time, which sucks. But I mean, it's an inexpensive 4K camera, so you can't really complain.
But it does its job. It's done its job.
Yeah.
I mean, look where it's got you thus far. I mean, it's done its job. And like, I had to ask you what your settings were, because I honestly I was like this guy's a whiz with autofocus on the G7. I was so like
Manual, dude, it sucks.
so
Okay, but
disappointed.
you guys want to know? You want to know the coolest thing? The coolest thing that I have recently discovered. Probably about 6 months ago, I got two of these. They're Tascam. They make these little lav mics that have a belt pack, and they record straight into the belt pack. And then they make you could buy these little rubber things that you put the mic up into. You tape it inside your shirt, and it can be the windiest day ever, and you won't get any wind noise. And
Really?
It's not a wireless mic. It actually records directly onto an SD card on the belt pack.
Okay, and
so
you're syncing it in post.
Yeah, you just sync it in post. You figure out
Nice.
what your auto settings are. So there's like 4 different settings. There's low, medium, high, and high. And so I set mine on medium high, I think. And you can also set it to where it records 2 tracks, one at 12 decibels higher than the other, or one at 12 decibels lower than the other.
Okay.
And it's the same track. So if you do happen to overmodulate at some point, you can use the second track.
That's cool.
They're like $200, and it's made a huge difference, because now even my shotgun mic, I have a Rode shotgun mic and Sennheiser. I think it's a Sennheiser. It starts with an S, and I always get them confused. But anyway, I have 2 nice shotgun mics. They sound echoey in a big room. This lav mic sounds great no matter where it is. So I just wear it all the time when I'm filming.
I hear you about the echoey. Like when I film in here, I've noticed like lately I've had to like position my boom mic like just maybe a foot away from my mouth and sort of angled at my chin, and it took me a while to like really figure it out. But I record like when I'm outside, I just put my Zoom mic in my back pocket and just run it up. But there's like no good way to like, I don't know how to stop it from like rubbing against my shirt. That's all I hear.
So they're these little rubber things. I'll send you guys a link. They're rubber, and actually it was Brennan from Droner is the one who showed me this. There's a little, just a tube in the middle, and you, instead of using a mic clip, you just take the mic out of the clip and you push it up through this little rubber thing, and then you buy medical tape. So it's like the 3M, medical tape. I tried gaffer's tape. I tried duct tape. Medical tape will stick to you even when you're sweaty, and then you pull it off.
Duct tape. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, I've tried it all, but
I'll give that a go.
Right under your shirt, even with a strong wind, you don't get any wind noise. It's really, and nobody even knows you're wearing it, because it's
your audio's so clean all the time.
Yeah, it wasn't at one point. I got a lot of complaints in my early videos, so I had to do something.
And that's the beauty of, like, that's why, like, I don't mind negative comments if they're productive, because I mean, it usually tells me, hey, tell me what I could do better or what I'm doing wrong, and then I just fix it and just spend more money.
there's some people that just love to just like type the worst stuff to you ever online.
Yeah.
I usually post them on Twitter. It's a lot of fun.
But you know, something I saw, and I don't know if you've ever seen him, but at Epos Fox, he was talking about people sort of immortalize the negative comments, and we don't give enough of attention to the positive comments. So I'm going to start, you know, for every positive comment I get, I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to throw them out there, whether it be at the end of a video or whatever. Yeah, I try to go through.
There's a great book by a guy named Jay Baer. I saw him speak a few years ago, called Hug Your Haters, and it's all about dealing with negative comments online. And that's always been my approach, is just, why, yes, I certainly could lose a few pounds. Thank you for that. I'm glad you're concerned about my health. And thanks for the dislike. I appreciate it. Hey, so one thing though, before we run out of time, because I gotta know, you guys have been talking, especially Ken, you've been talking a lot about the Evo. Tell me more. I want to know when that thing's coming out.
So at this point, we've just heard from numerous sources that it's in production. It previously hadn't been because they went through a design change after CES, IWCE. It seemed like they
you
changed.
got to play with one or touch one at CES.
Yeah,
right?
I got to touch one at IWCE. Billy got to touch the one at CES, which was a little bit different. So they changed the wingspan, the props, and it seemed like the software got a little bit of a tweak as well. So the new Explorer apps and totally immersive, which it's sort of an interesting take. But you know, I feel like I've been getting a little bit aggravated with them because I feel like, okay, you sort of bring a completed
videos where you got a little aggravated.
You know, you bring a completed product to CES, like, or what seems like a completed product. You're even doing giveaways, like where you're like, hey, if you comment in this video, you can win yourself an Evo drone. So you're totally, it's like sort of like teasing people that this is almost shippable. Like, I mean, they're flying it around the cage. I mean, everybody thinks, hey, this is ready to go. To do you one better, they bring a 1-inch prototype. Like, you say 1 inch on a drone, forget about it. People will, like, beat you down. People that aren't even, like, camera enthusiasts, like, for some reason, everybody knows what a 1-inch sensor is. So you combine all that, and then obviously you got me stirring the pot. And now, 5 months later, here we are, like, Evo Frenzy. You have people that just want this drone, and, you know, there's just no sign.
Have you got any response from them? Like, have they said anything to you?
I've gotten indirect responses depending on what video I put out. I put out a video, you know, sort of like warning people, you know, to heed caution buying an Autel X-Star. It's a $549 drone right now. It's also 2.5 years old. It also didn't have the best video feed, at least for me. And people's mileage may vary, but for me, I always found that my video feed would break up. And
not like Lightbridge.
It can only go 1.2 miles. That was it. Right. 1.2 miles, not very far. And, you know, I just said, you know, be cautioned with it because the batteries, I had 2 batteries explode on mine. In the time frame, but they warrantied them out. They totally warrantied them out. But the cell that they were,
you mean like catch fire? Or what do you mean?
Okay, let me explain. Yeah, probably bad word on the internet. They expanded to the point where they were breaking. They were breaking the plastic, and one of them actually started doing it in the drone, and I had to forcefully remove it. So I sent them out. They warrantied them out, and they were both, you know, they warranty their batteries for 6 months. That's their warranty on their batteries. So I was within that time. So they warrantied them out twice, which was good. I mean, customer service-wise are good, but like, you know, Jeff Powell, the VP, puts out this statement, you know, only listen to us about, you know, news and upcoming events, which is great, but you're not saying anything. People want to know. We've kept them, I guess at the best part, we've at least kept them interested. If I said nothing and nobody said anything about the product, you would just have your CES videos and maybe some random comments here and there as news popped up. We've kept people interested.
We're pressed for these guys, right? I mean, that's the thing is that's the symbiotic nature of the relationship is they like us talking about them, and we like to have something to talk about. So you know,
right, exactly. It's a win-win. I actually placed a pre-order with Carolina Drones, so I'm I put the 75 out on it, and we'll see what happens. If it ships in a month, it ships in a month. If it ships in July, it ships in July. So I think we'll have fun with it. It looked impressive. The gimbal looks very impressive. I'll say that from a Mavic Pro perspective.
You guys have got to get out to CES next year. Oh my God!
So what's the deal with CES? Like, is there some sort of? Because I looked into it. Like IWCE, I had to harass the IWCE people to even let me go there because they were like very anti-media.
I was able to get in as a student, and apparently like students got in for free on Friday, and then they're like, oh, you can pay extra to come the other days. So I just did that. It was like $200 or something like that.
So what if you're not a student though?
There's different ways that you can like get into the show. So let's say you are in tech for your company, right?
Sure.
You'd be able to go there and represent them if they're okay with that.
Okay, so but I would have to represent the company
Most
I work
likely.
for
Yep.
in order to go there. But do they make you pay or?
It depends. There's like different fees for like the different levels of people that go there, but
Interesting.
I don't know. It was a ton of fun. And also, as a student, I'm allowed to bring like one guest or something like that.
So raffle next year for CES, right? Or
right.
I need to go to school. I need to go back to school.
Back to school.
Yeah.
I just need to go back to school for one semester in
it's
January.
like the Bachelor mirror. Billy's the Bachelor, and we have to take one of us.
We're just giving away one ticket. I wanted to give away the Mavic Air case. I actually saw.
Which case is it?
So it's the Dackett case for the Mavic Air.
Yeah,
It's a pretty reasonable
Like
case.
a hard shell, or do you have it there?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I think I remember watching this video. It was more of like a soft case on the outside,
Okay.
but it had little compartments on the inside for all of the different things that you could want. Was he still down in the box there? Was it a shoebox?
We'll clean that up later. All right, so here it is. This is the Dackett case.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a
So it's
semi-hard shell.
like a zipper, neoprene kind of thing.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
exactly. So you can store up to 5 batteries. It's got a flip-down area here, and I think actually, did I leave props in here? I think I left some spare props in here. Yeah, I did. I left 2 spare props in there for whoever gets it. So there you go. What's that?
What if you need them?
Well, then I'll go back to this moment and be like, oh, why did I do that? So, but
How do you win? How do people
So,
win?
so this is what I asked everybody in the comments as we've been going, is to comment, tell me why you want a Mavic Air case. Because I really don't know any good way to do a random comment from a live chat. Like, there isn't an application for this. If somebody knows of one, please tell us for the next time we do this. But consistently, Mike Brooks has commented more than almost anybody else, so I think we should just give it to Mike Brooks. Mike, do you have yourself a Mavic Air? I don't know if he does,
That'd be awesome,
but
yeah.
if Mike Brooks has a Mavic Air,
Here's
it's
a quick
yours.
requirement. You either have one or you're getting one.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
hey, if you don't have a Mavic Air, I
Squeeze,
expect
like,
to
a
see
Mac
video.
Pro in there.
Hey, Billy,
probably
on the
could.
prep sheet, you did also ask about longboards or
Yeah,
That was that. Yep.
That was Ken. He
I-
That was
Um,
me. That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've received 4 and had a good time on all 4 of them. One of them has it has a goofy name. I have to look at the video to remember the name, but it's got giant wheels, giant rubber wheels, and you can ride it off road.
Those are awesome.
So much fun.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
around
it carries
Philadelphia, there's like a lot of potholes, so I feel like that'd probably be pretty good. Like going over the rough sidewalks, you know?
Oh yeah. No, this thing will. I haven't wrote up a curb on it, but I have wrote off a curb, like down off a curb on
Okay.
it. It's they're just so much fun. So I actually wrote an email to Boosted Board, and with my, I mean, I've got an okay sized channel, but not the size that they normally send people to. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, do you want to send a
That's the thing.
Boosted Board Mini to Drone Channel for free? And they got back
Well, I
to me
mean-
and said, thank you, but no.
Yeah. I mean, they're
mean,
they're
you-
so mainstream though. Like, I don't know. I get
gotta-
mad when they don't give people a chance, because it's like a channel like that where people be like, hell, let me buy. I'm going to buy that. I'm spending money on drones.
I
I'm
know.
going to spend money on a board.
And I feel
Yeah,
like it's all in that same genre. Like anyone that's got a drone, like all these booster boards are awesome. I've never ridden a skateboard, and I think they're the coolest thing ever.
I rode a
Well,
skateboard and I broke
but-
my arm last year, so there you go.
Wait, have you guys ever ridden an electric board?
When I was out in Minneapolis with my friend Jack, I kind of rode his inside, like literally not even for a minute, but that's like to my extent. Oh, I also Boosted actually came to my school and had like a little pop-up tent, and you could ride them around.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
they
test
would
it
let people
out.
ride them.
So that was pretty fun. I got to ride around a little bit, but it wasn't like the best area to ride in, so I wouldn't really call that. riding.
See, I wouldn't know what to do with it though.
It just
You move.
my son and we do a lot of filming with it. Actually,
Do you?
it's a great dolly. So if you have a gimbal
True.
and
That
you,
makes sense.
you need a way to like kind of ride along something, alongside a car, alongside a drone, alongside a bike. It's a really good way to get a really steady shot because your hands are free,
I bet.
right? You don't have to hold. I mean, you're holding the gimbal, of course. I don't know. I'm a big fan. I used to skateboard a lot in high school though, so it kind of brings back memories.
Do
So-
you know who MKBHD is? I'm sure you probably do.
It-
MKBHD.
NKBHD.
Never
No.
heard of him.
MKBHD. Marquez Brownlee.
Oh yeah. Of course. He
So-
I watch him.
He actually uses those hoverboards when he's trying to get like smooth shots. They use hoverboards and like
Okay.
a Ronin.
That's
saw him
Darren.
with, you guys ever watch Brody, the ultimate frisbee player who does all
Yes.
the frisbee trick
Yeah.
shot? I just saw Marquise and him do a collab together.
Yeah, they did a Guinness Book of
Yeah.
World Records collab or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So I coach my son's on an ultimate frisbee team, so I kind of geek out about frisbees. So I thought that was really
That's cool.
Yeah, Marquez is
Well, yeah,
a
so-
professional player.
Yeah, he plays pro ultimate frisbee.
Okay, that's what my son said, and I was like, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think he's
Um,
back. I think he's back in New York this season, actually.
He's tall.
Dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that helps.
would never guess, but yeah, he is really tall. It's so funny to like when you meet somebody in like real life. It's like, wow, I did not, or
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're shorter than you look.
He's very soft spoken too. I mean, he seems like a really. I've never met him, but he seems like a really humble guy for all he's accomplished.
And that's a good to be like. He's very mild tempered. Like you never notice his videos ever go off kilter. Like I don't know, Billy, you're pretty
he
mild
gets
tempered
mad.
too, though. What's that?
I am.
Well, he does a
But-
good job not
but-
letting us see that. I, on the other hand, just all over the place. Like,
But that's what adds to the channel. I think that's like your
Yeah.
own personal flair. You know.
sure, I guess.
Personality.
Yeah.
Bipolar Ken, sure, come on by. But yeah, I guess he is. But I see that with you too. Like your style is like sort of just very even keeled. I guess best way to put it.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to talk to the camera better because like I talk so much differently when I'm just talking to like people like this. But if I'm talking to the camera, I feel like I gotta talk differently. So
Yeah, I think we all
Billy,
do that.
I love the little mix-up the mashup Ken did with all your intro.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was
pretty
hilarious.
funny.
he sent me the video files, and it's funny because my girlfriend and her whole family makes fun of my intro, so I sent it to her, and I'm sure they all like watch it every night and laugh at it.
Nice.
That was the best. But you know what? It shows how consistent you are, like with your timing. Because literally,
yeah.
when he first kept playing, I'm like, man, why is he hitting repeat? Because you're wearing the same shirt or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, oh, wait a second, it's different. Like what? Yeah, he had to spend some time on that. That's great though.
That's
So-
awesome.
Yeah, he actually messaged me back. So May 17th, I'll be on Ken's show.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so that'd be cool to chat with him and Dana. Never got to have a one-on-one conversation with them, so it'd be cool to do so. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to do my little ask because I've been trying to do more Instagram stuff. And Billy, I see you comment on my Instagram occasionally. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I am. That's my only ask from being on the show. If
Go ahead.
you guys viewers would check out my Instagram, it's just Ready Set Drone. I would appreciate it because I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm putting some effort into it finally, and I just need an audience. It's nice to have people actually looking at your stuff.
So we will make sure we link your Instagram to the account here. Matter of fact, I just followed you today. I think I usually use 2 accounts, so I followed you on both of mine. But that's pretty cool. That Ready Set Drone, like plastic, is that a 3D print somebody made you?
Oh yeah, so that was 400 AGL. Mel, he's a truck driver. Have you met him, Billy?
No.
You know who he is?
I've seen him in Ken's
he's a truck
chat.
driver out of Tennessee. He's always in the chats on a lot. I mean, I'm sure he would be watching. He might be watching tonight. But anyway, he is the nicest guy. He came through Austin. I met up with him. We shot a video together, which I don't know if you guys saw, but he has an Inspire, and I did active track with the Inspire using both the Phantom 4. I'm sorry, the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Air, and they both tracked. And it was windy that day. It was really windy.
Really?
We were standing behind his truck for shelter, and then as soon as you went up above the truck, it was like all this wind blowing. Anyway,
Wow.
he does 3D printing, and he printed. Actually, hold on. Let me just show you guys real quick.
Kelly,
He
Kelly,
printed.
while you're grabbing that, I just want to say that when I first saw that, I thought you like added the text in through Photoshop or something.
That's what I thought, and then I had to look at it again. I
looks-
was like, that is
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Maybe it was the light, the way the
There-
light was hitting that. That is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was
That's
actually
cool.
at sunset. I did it on purpose. It was on my mailbox, but there they are. He did a little red one for me and a big green one.
Dude,
So,
that is
that's awesome.
he is definitely talented with the 3D printing. That's, you know what? Now that I have a Windows machine, I think I'm going to do that. I want to get a 3D printer again.
And he does that in his truck. So his truck, he has this
Wow.
he has the big rig, and in the truck is like a little apartment. And so I met up with him, and Ken had told me he was an interesting guy, so I meet up with him. I go in his truck, and it's just filled with all this tech stuff. He's got like a gaming computer, and he's got the printer, and then he's got all these drones all over the place. It's like this little apartment. I mean, there's so much tech in that thing. Plus, I'm sure the truck is worth, hundreds of thousands of
Oh,
dollars.
easily,
it's like a rolling
easily.
technology.
Yeah, those
He
trucks,
needs
I
one of those
mean,
Tesla
crazy.
trucks. He needs
Could
a
you
Tesla
imagine?
Semi.
I mean, how much are those things rolling? Crazy
I think-
expensive.
Oh, I think more like $250,000 for that
But
one.
they gotta work out the Model 3 issues, like, and get more of those shipping before they even start. Like, that's another
Oh,
company.
you're talking
like,
about the electric truck.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It-
There was a used Tesla that I almost bought because I need a new car, and I was like trying to work out the numbers, and I was like, I just
What
my
model?
God.
Model S?
It was a Model S, like 2013. Not that much money. It was like in the 40s, which I know was a lot for like a young kid like me. But traveling back and forth, I was spending $800 a month on gas in my dad's truck.
Wow.
So I kind of factored that into getting this new car. But then now I've got my dad's like old Ford Escape, which gets better gas mileage. So I'm good now.
Wait. So you were gonna buy the used one, but you just didn't?
Well, so the reason was because I had my dad's old truck. It was like 17-gallon tank. I ended up having 17 gallons in the tank, and it was like $50 to fill it up. I mean, I was spending a lot of money on gas, so that's how I was kind of justifying going and buying an expensive car that was electric. I would
Makes
never have
sense.
to pay for gas.
How is it, like, you're up there in Philly, so Philly's probably okay. Like, do they have a lot of superchargers though? I know, like, down in Palm Beach, there is like a supercharger station like everywhere.
Not
Tesla.
many near me. Not many near me, but I know that down the street there's a hotel that has like Tesla. Like, they're not the superchargers, but they're like the smaller gray chargers that
Okay.
I could have charged up at. Or like also where I park at my school, they have it's like garage parking and there's outlets, so you can just plug in and I just go into to my dorm or whatever.
Yeah,
But-
it's pretty awesome, like how Tesla's come on like that. I just want to see them get, I don't know, I want to see them get like the other products shipped. I just feel
Yeah.
like they're really like sort of lagging
I know.
behind shipping these products.
Agreed.
I just got some new Instagram subs or followers.
Yeah, we're trying to, we're not a big stream, but we'll get
Scrappy.
you. Yeah, we're scrappy. I guess that's the best way to put it. We're scrappy.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah, hey, Kelly, here's a tip for you. Try downloading Adobe Lightroom on your phone. You can edit like some of the best pictures on there. I swear, you make them pop like that.
Nice.
It's really good for Instagram.
Okay.
yeah, I've been using.
No,
I don't know,
I-
have you guys ever heard of Pixelmator?
No.
No.
It's like
Pixelmator?
Pixelmator. It's like it's spell it like you say it almost, and it's like a Photoshop app, but it's absolutely amazing. I think it's more powerful than Photoshop. I use it on my iPad all the
Really?
time. Matter of fact, I used that to make a lot of my thumbnails for a while. It was like
Cool.
$9 at one point, but you can edit like and get the light curves and everything just the way you want it.
That's
Interesting.
like how much you have to pay for Photoshop a month. You gotta pay that like monthly.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah,
it
if you have
does suck, but it's so powerful though. It's like no way around it. I hate subscriptions. I really do. I want to switch
know.
back to Premiere. Now, I didn't ask you, Kelly. What do you edit your videos in? Are you a
in,
Mac guy?
in Premiere, yeah. Premiere and Photoshop and a little bit of After Effects. One thing actually that I've seen several people doing, and actually, Ken, I noticed when you were on the beach with that woman asking you questions, you drew that little line that was kind of tagged onto you guys
Yeah.
or magnetized to you. So is that a Premiere thing, or is that a Final Cut thing? Or?
I would imagine you can buy that for Premiere or for Final Cut. It's made by Mocha. It's Motion VFX, and they're like little annotations, and like you can buy all different types of annotations. They have like
and it just maps to a face or to whatever.
Yeah, you sort of draw a area around what you want to map, and you got to really dial it in. And it's got to be something that's different than the rest of the foreground. So I'll always find something that's different. And once it locks in there, it'll go frame by frame and track it for you, so you don't have to.
Yeah, it looked really cool. And I've seen a lot of people doing that now, and I feel kind of stupid that I haven't tried it because it, for like if you're doing a nice little slider shot of a product or something, and you want to be able to map certain things on it, but have them move with it.
Right.
That would be.
Yeah, I don't use it as much as I should. I think when I first bought it, I think I paid like $65 for the plugin, which well worth it. Like people like download it. No, I bought it for Final Cut, but they did have it. They had it for Premiere, and they had it for I think HitFilm. You can get it. So there's 3 that they had it for. If you use DaVinci, you're not going to be able to use it because they don't have any like tracking. But I mean, it's paid for itself. I love it.
Yeah, no, I was like that. That's such a cool effect. And what about Billy? What do you edit in?
Final Cut Pro. I just. It's almost like Casey Neistat says because he uses Final Cut Pro. There's so many other options out there, but I don't feel like learning something else. I had to use
Final
Premiere
Cut
Pro
10?
in school.
What's that?
Final Cut Pro 10, yeah.
Okay.
And,
well, that was it. I was using Final Cut Pro 7, and then I dropped off of it when 10 came out, and we went back to. The other thing too is that I like to be able to switch between a PC and a Mac, and so having Adobe lets you do that.
And that's sort of where I'm at right now. Like now I'm like I want to be able to go back and forth, and Premiere's the only thing to do it. But it's like $30 a month for the Premiere suite, or it was $300 for one time.
Use Billy's name, and you can get the student discount.
Well, I do have
bachelor.
discounts.
Well, eventually he'll graduate. What's that? Was that Billy?
I don't know, man. The student thing's working out pretty well. He gets like cheap tickets for CES, and gets to drive his dad's car.
It's $10 for all of the Adobe apps. So
wait, whoa, back up.
As a student,
$10 for all your Premiere, After Effects, all of them, the whole suite.
$10 a month.
$10 a month.
You just broke up a little bit, so I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I know you sort of froze. So it's $10 a month for the entire Adobe suite.
The entire suite. Yep.
So let me get this straight. You have 400 megabits up. It's $10 a month for the Adobe suite. You get a Fortescape. I mean, you're just living the dream, man. You're living the dream, dude.
A lot. Okay, so wait, the story about the gigabit internet. Look, I know that seems like a big thing, but my mom
I gotta keep ragging on him.
She goes, Bill, we can upgrade to something called gigabit internet for $20 more a month. I was like, do it.
Yeah, do it.
She's like, by the way, love that.
I found them in your trash.
when I was living in Lakeland, I used to have Verizon, and it was 300, which I thought that was amazing. And
good though.
It was great, and I totally took it for granted because I wasn't doing any live streams or anything. And then I moved, just a little bit north of Tampa now, and it's like, okay, so here you go, here's Spectrum. This is all you get, and you're gonna max out at 25. So, but I guess it's still better than some.
It's actually $20 for all the apps. I mean, it's like Photoshop, Lightroom, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere,
that's good.
Dreamweaver. Yeah,
that is really good.
It's only for 1 year though. Even though like you're a student for 4 years, you only get it for 1, which I don't know.
Did you get your Chick-fil-A today?
No, I went with Smoothie King. You guys ever had Smoothie King before? You know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I got to ask. We were talking about it. He goes, "Oh, I'm going to get Chick-fil-A, and I'm going to ask you this every Monday." Have you ever heard of Zaxby's, Kelly?
I have heard of Zaxby's. I don't think I've ever eaten at Zaxby's.
I don't know if they have Zaxby's down there.
Bad, right?
No, it's not. It's delicious,
Zaxby's
man.
too.
Zaxby's is delicious. It's better chicken than you'll get at Chick-fil-A. All
right, look, I'm looking at their website right now, and this is just not appetizing.
Dude, I'm telling you, Zaxby's makes some of the. It's not like Cajun chicken like Popeyes. It's sort of that happy medium between like Deep South, good fried chicken, but not greasy. It's clean.
I'll have to.
I'm not sponsored by them at all. I'm just letting you know if it sounds like brought to you by Zaxby's, but delicious.
All right, I will. So I will say too, Billy. So you're in Philadelphia. My wife's parents spend the summer in upstate New York every year,
Cool.
and we go
Yeah.
up there usually for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so that wouldn't be too far for you to come
No,
to, huh?
yeah. I mean, if you're ever up here, look, I don't mind a drive. I drove across the country last summer, so I mean, I drive to my girlfriend. She lives up in Connecticut. So I mean, you know, I'm kind of driving up to upstate New York or near that area every once in a while. So let me know when you're in the
You
area.
drive,
And
you drive like right along. So Connecticut's further north, right, than New York.
it's to the it's
Further
further
east?
north. It's also to the east.
So,
Yeah,
so,
so-
do you
so
drive,
you're-
like,
she's on the coast, right?
like Erie?
Mm-hmm.
So I grew
Yeah,
up in
Erie.
Stratford.
So it would probably be quicker to come from my house over to Erie. So it's like a 5-hour drive.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we drive up there from Texas every year. We drive up from Austin to it's Alexandria Bay is the name of the town.
Okay.
Like it's north of Watertown, north of like 2 hours north of Syracuse.
Gotcha.
It's right up there. But be a good
Oh,
place
thank
to
you,
go fly.
thank you, Drone Worship. Thank you.
Drone
Got a
Worship,
$5
Thank
super
you for
chat
that.
from Mr. Worship.
Hey, all right.
Oh, he just called you good looking.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
What is the
I
what
know
is the
he's
name
got to
of
be
the
talking about one
building?
of you youngsters.
What'd you say, Billy? Hey, thank you, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Way to roll,
Thank you, man. And he was on my stream last night. Did
dude.
the same
That's
thing,
two
so
for
thanks
that's
again.
two. Rick is always like in the chat.
and
Just
Rick-
awesome guy.
I just sent Rick. Hey, Jenga, come here. Hold on.
Special guest.
Yeah, there she is. Say hello. Say hello. Yeah, sugar girl. I just sent Rick a bolt. I think he got the bolt. So one of the things I've been doing, and this is something you guys could think about, but it's been great for me, is subscriber of the month. You were talking about highlighting or positive comments versus negative ones. So I just try to pick somebody out every month who's said a lot of really cool positive things or helped out in a question or, you know, just whatever. They just had really good psych across the channel. And
Sure.
so, and then I send them t-shirts and drones and stuff. So that's
Cool.
That's that's actually a good idea. I think that's something I would definitely want to start implementing. How do you go through and decide who's your subscriber of the month, Kelly? Is it totally
well,
random or?
I've done it once a month. No, it's really, I just kind of pay attention to who's commenting, and I try to. Rick Halber was one of them, and you know he'd probably be a good one for you too. He's just always saying something interesting or positive or whatever, and so Big Drone Flyer 77. If you guys know Donnie,
Yeah, I've
he
seen him.
comments a lot. He was my first one, and then Alan Savage and I'm Wedge, and there's a few other guys like so. That's all of them that I've had so far.
It's sort of interesting to see how they all like sort of congregate between all the different drone channels. Like it's sort of like a little tight knit community. It's really awesome.
Here's my son.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah. So actually, so my son's friend's sister has a channel called Cat Lovers. What is it? Oh, Cat Lovers Studios.
Cat lovers with a Z.
Cat Lovers with a Z Studios.
so,
And
what's the channel about? Like what's the content with cat lovers?
it's about drones.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
No,
I got excited. I thought it was about actual cats.
So this is my son. This is Tate.
Hey, Tate.
This girl's name is also Tate. His friend's sister is named Tate, and she is probably one of the most interesting 5th grade kids I've ever met. She's just super
Oh,
smart,
wow.
and she has. And then she found out about us doing YouTube, and she's like, "Oh, you got to plug my channel, Cat Lover Studios." And then she even just grabs my phone away and subscribes me to him. She's like, "Here, let me have your phone." She goes in and subscribes me. So.
We definitely got to give a shout out to them because you know I think it's important for like the younger creators to get the support of the existing creators, or at least you know sort of like give them a little like I don't know leg up. I think it's important. It means a lot. It keeps them going in the right direction because there's so much negativity now on the internet, and like we all see it, we've all experienced it, and I think it's just important for the younger ones. There's a lot of awesome creators that are like I don't know. not even in middle school, and just putting out some fantastic content. So feel free, Kelly. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that you can go ahead and post her channel in the chat there if anything good comes of it.
I'm gonna go look and see, because she needs to work on her channel a little bit. It's mostly just her talking about cats, which don't know. And
if you watch my Instagram, I'm either spinning a cat around in an office chair or trying to give the cat coffee. So not uncommon that I am
you
cat
can do
harassing.
a collab with Cat Lover Studio.
Hey, we'll do it. We'll do a cat collab. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, I'll tell you one other quick thing about her. She actually, so I was at my son plays lacrosse with her brother, so they're friends. They play lacrosse. We're at lacrosse the other night, and I had some lacrosse balls, and I'm juggling them because I learned how to juggle in high school. And she's like so fascinated. So I was just showing her the basics of juggling. She has been every week. Like, she comes up to me and she's like, "Look, I'm getting better. I'm getting better." And she's just been practicing.
That's awesome.
She's one of these kids that I think sets her mind to it and then just goes for it. So I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Well, Billy, you got anything else, man?
I don't think so. I'm probably gonna go and try to wrap some stuff up here.
Duly noted. Well,
I'm finishing up finals right now. It's like
next week you're driving down, right, man?
What's that?
You're driving down Florida next week, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I'm so excited.
Inspire 2? No?
Probably not by then. I want the Inspire 2 so bad. Oh, it's just so awesome.
Well,
raw video.
Pretty awesome.
We'll have enough of drones to figure something out. I'm sure we'll have some awesome videos to put out of that week. But Kelly, thank you so much for coming on. This has been super fun.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it.
So
I'll be on with Bill the Drone Reviewer tomorrow night.
We'll be sure to stop by.
Yeah, please do. I actually totally screwed him 2 weeks ago. I was supposed to be on, and I just lost track of time. I'm like, I was cutting my yard. I was out all sweaty, and I'm doing some yard work. I go take a shower, and I'm in the shower like, oh my god, I was supposed to be on 30 minutes ago, and it was just a total space out. So I'm gonna really give it my all tomorrow night for him.
Well, good, man. So 2 back-to-back streams, so this will be good, man. You'll be like all warmed up. So we were the warm-up, and that'll be the main event.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
There you go.
They're all the main event to me. You guys are special, and don't.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much, Kelly from Ready Set Drone, man. Thanks for stopping in.
See you, Kelly. Good talking to you.
Adios.
Well, that was fun, man.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, so you'll never believe this, but my AirPods right now are on 1%.
Dude, your autofocus was like sort of wigging out. I'm thinking that maybe a little bit of fine tuning, but the video is very crisp. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the more I hang around with you, I'm gonna spend a lot more money to try to like change the equipment around, because I'm telling you, like the video quality is so good on that.
I've got no bills to pay, so I just buy a lot of tech.
I hear you, man. But that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem to have, man. That is really a great problem to have. That was fun. So thank you so much for Kelly for being on. I'm really hoping we have one stream without technical difficulties. Is it so much to ask for? Did you just lose audio? Did Billy just lose audio? He lost audio. Well, dude, you just lost audio. I'm saying to myself, one stream without problems, and this happens midstream. I'm putting you on the full screen, and you're just going to go like this. Peace, okay? All right, so here we go. So Billy's going to close out the show. He's all warmed up. Here we go. You ready? It's all you.